Hi guys, welcome back to Lost in My Library. My name is Kate. Today I am doing a book haul, a mini book haul. I have a lot of books. I haven't done a book haul in a hot minute. I haven't done a lot in a hot minute. So, I haven't done like just a sit down like let's talk video in a hot minute. So, hi, hello. So I went on vacation, well, like a small trip with my family on Memorial Day weekend. Came back home, needed to pick up my cat. Oh yeah, I have a cat now. I'll insert a picture here. This is Leon. And I had to wait a little bit to pick up my cat. So I went book shopping, as one does. So let's get to the books. One of these is actually not from that trip, but it's a current read right now. So, let's actually talk about the oopsie. I made an oopsie. Whoopsie daisy. I bought Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones, and I forgot this is book 2 of this series. And I think the first book's called My Heart is Chainsaw? Yeah, My Heart is Chainsaw. I forgot that this is a book 2. I have been wanting to read Stephen Graham Jones books. I was like, oh, here's Stephen Graham Jones. And I bought this, and I bought book 2. So, I need to get My Heart is a Chainsaw at some point. But, this is a whoopsie. My bad. Let's talk about the book that's a current read. And that is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This is what everybody was reading not too long ago. I am on chapter 18. Yes, chapter 18 now of Sunrise on the Reaping. And I was not prepared. I knew that there was going to be a lot of emotion. I wanted to know absolutely nothing going into this other than it's about Haymitch's games. And I didn't even really know if it, like, it's about Haymitch's games, but I didn't know if it was, I thought it would have been interesting if it was following somebody else who was in Haymitch's game, but it's all about Haymitch, and I don't hate it. I love Haymitch. Haymitch is a great character, and I love this book. I didn't particularly love Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Didn't love that one. Love this one. This is great. Because I love Haymitch. I think she's hit something with this one in particular. I will give more thoughts at a later date. So, there's that. And then let's go to the other books that I got in that haul. I bought Death on the Island because I looked at this and I was like, this looks like And Then There Were None retelling. Let me tell you, I think it is. It doesn't specifically say it, other than this person says it gives Agatha Christie vibes. So it says, trapped on a remote island by a howling storm, 9 people sit down to dinner. One of them is about to die. A group of international players has gathered in a tiny village off the coast of Iceland. Oh yeah, it's set in Iceland. I've been to Iceland once, and I loved it. So, excited about it being set in Iceland. There's Christian, the mayor, reeling from a personal tragedy. Graham, the ambassador, with an agenda to push. Jane, his wife, along for the ride on another one of her husband's many business trips. Several others from Iceland and from abroad, each with their own reason for being there, their loyalties and grievances. By the end of the night, one of them will be dead, and it will be up to Jane to figure out how and why. What Jane soon comes to realize is that small communities can be the most dangerous of them all, and no one in their group is safe, with secrets around every corner and violent weather trapping the finite list of suspects together on the list. This locked room mystery by international selling author Eliza Reid brings Agatha Christie and Nordic noir together in a brand new twist. This sounds fascinating. I don't think I've read a book set in Iceland, but I'm excited for that. And it sounds very much like And Then There Were None, which I loved. I loved And Then There Were None. When I first read it back in high school. But yeah. Oh, got a map. I didn't realize we had a map. That's fun. Okay. Well, very excited about that. Don't know when I'll read it. Let's talk about this one. And that is a sequel that I very much did intend to buy, and that is the Hawthorne Legacy, which by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the sequel to the Inheritance games, and I loved the first book. I am so excited to have my hands on the sequel finally and continue on with the series, with everything. I love this. I love the boys, and I love Avery. So I'm excited to continue on with this series. This was not an I have read the Inheritance games. I meant to buy the sequel to the Inheritance games. Let's talk about this one. Okay, so this one is Scotland Yard by Simon Reed. This is a history of the London police force's most infamous murder cases. This is true crime, obviously, and this is all about Scotland Yard. And I guess this is set or like the 1800s, like Victorian times stuff. It says a riveting true crime history of the world's first modern police force, as told through its most notorious murder cases. The idea of Scotland Yard is steeped in atmospheric stories of foggy London streets, murder by lamplight, and fiendish killers pursued by gentlemen detectives. From its establishment in 1829 through the eve of World War II, Scotland Yard, the world's first modern, professional, and centrally organized police force, set new standards for policing and investigating. Scotland Yard also advanced the groundbreaking use of forensics, from fingerprints to ballistics to evidence collection, made the first attempt at criminal profiling, and captivated the public on both sides of the Atlantic with feats of detective work that rivaled many fictional interpretation. Based on official case files, contemporary newspaper reporting, trial transcripts, and the first-hand accounts of the detectives on the beat, Scotland Yard tells the tales of some of history's most notorious murders, with cases that prove to be landmarks in the field of criminal inquiry. And so I look forward to reading this because I like true crime, so I look very forward, and I like British things, particularly a detective named Sherlock Holmes. So I look forward to continue and learning more about Scotland Yard and the real stories of Scotland Yard beyond what I've read in Sherlock Holmes. So that's that. And then one more book. We have, everything is piled up precariously over there. It is horror movie. This is by Paul Tremblay. And I picked this up because I opened it and that looks like a movie script with like notes and everything. And then I read the description, which sounds fascinating. Almost sounds like Blair Witch, if the people the actors actually went missing in it. So, listen. A chilling twist on the cursed film genre from the best-selling author of The Pallbearer's Glove and The Cabin at the End of the World. In June 1993, a group of young guerrilla filmmakers spent 4 weeks making Horror Movie, a notorious, disturbing art house horror flick. The weird part, only 3 of the film's scenes were ever released to the public. But Horror Movie, has nevertheless grown a rapid fan base. 3 decades later, Hollywood is pushing for a big-budget reboot. The man who played the Thin Kid is the only surviving cast member. He remembers all too well the secrets buried when Thin the original screenplay, the bizarre events of the filming, and the dangerous cross lines on set that resulted in tragedy. As memories flood back in, the boundaries between reality and film, past and present, start to blur. But he's going to help remake the film, even if it means navigating a world of cynical producers, egomaniacal directors, and surreal fan conventions. Demons of the past be damned. But at what cost? Horror Movie is an obsessive, psychologically chilling, and suspenseful feat of storytelling genius excuse me, that builds inexorably to an unforgettable, mind-bending conclusion. So this looks like it's going to have mixed media aspects, and that fascinating. Like, I love Lost Media. So I look very much forward to reading this. So let's take a look at my stack here. It's not a okay, it is a pretty big stack. When I added Sunrise on the Reaping, but this is my stack of books that I've hauled recently, and yeah, I look forward to these. Hopefully I read these soon. Because I have stacks of books that I have gotten from like Ellicrate that I have not read. So there's that. I have a problem. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Yeah. Go Oilers. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys. Mwah.